Hey there, Washington Commanders fans! Welcome to another video on our channel. Today we're bringing you all the latest news and speculation about our team. We've got some explosive news that's shaking up the NFL world and could change the Commanders' fate this season. So, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, we've got two incredible pieces of news in this video. Alright folks, we're less than a week away from the start of the 2024 NFL season, and the anticipation couldn't be higher. On Thursday Night Football, the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, will host the Baltimore Ravens, and I know we're all eager to see the ball flying again. But while we wait for this big showdown, there's something keeping Commanders fans up at night, an unexpected move that could shake up the roster. That's right, we're talking about the possibility of trading one of our main stars, and, believe it or not, what seems impossible might be about to happen. Last week, all 32 NFL teams finalized their initial 53-man rosters, a crucial preparation phase for the season. Of course, this is just the first version of these lists, which change frequently throughout the year. Since then, most teams have already made some adjustments, and the Commanders haven't been left behind. The Commanders have already made two significant moves since finalizing the 53-man roster. The most impactful was trading defensive tackle John Ridgeway to the New Orleans Saints for a 2025 draft pick. Many fans were surprised by this decision, but if we look closely, it makes sense. Washington had 5 defensive tackles on the roster: Jonathan Allen, Darren Payne, Johnny Newton, Ridgeway, and Phidarian Mathis. With so many strong options for the position, some change was expected. Now, what caught everyone off guard was the suggestion from one of the NFL's top writers that the Commanders should consider another trade before the November deadline. According to Alex Ballantyne of Bleacher Report, a trade that could really shake up the market is sending Jonathan Allen to the Houston Texans. And folks, this speculation is gaining traction. Are we about to lose one of the pillars of our defense? According to Ballantyne, the Houston Texans are in a perfect position to be aggressive in negotiations. Just look at what they've already done this offseason to understand. They went after Stephon Diggs and also brought in Danielle Hunter. With young quarterback CJ Stroud still on his rookie contract, the Texans have plenty of salary cap flexibility to add impact players. And this is where Allen enters the equation. It would be a bold move for them, but also one that makes sense. For the Texans, adding someone like Jonathan Allen would mean an immediate quality leap in their defense. With Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter playing on the edges, Allen's presence would bring impressive strength to the center of the defensive line, something the current combination of Fatukasi and Mario Edwards Jr. can't offer. Just to give you an idea, Allen's 5.5 sacks last season far exceed the combined numbers of Fatukasi and Edwards. It's not hard to see why Houston would be interested. And for us, Commanders fans, what would this mean? Well, from the team's perspective, the priority is clear: strengthen the offense around Jaden Daniels. They've already opened their wallet to keep Darren Payne and invested heavily in selecting Newton in this year's draft. Therefore, keeping players with high contracts like Allen may not be the smartest decision for a team going through a rebuild. The idea is to maintain salary flexibility and build a competitive team for the long term. But hold on, folks, it's not all that simple. Allen's contract still has 2 years left and not a penny of guaranteed money. What does this mean? That Washington isn't in a desperate situation to get rid of him. In fact, the Commanders' salary cap is in great shape, so there's no pressure to part ways with such a talented player. And let's face it, Coach Dan Quinn sees an Allen and Payne duo as a combination that destroys opposing offenses. Who wouldn't want to see this pair in action for longer? Now, think about this. If we get to November with the team struggling, and Newton is healthy and showing what he's capable of, Allen's situation could change quickly. The Commanders aren't afraid to make big changes when necessary. They've already proven this in the recent past, trading defensive ends Chase Young and Montez Sweat at last year's deadline and dealing their 2022 first-round pick, Jahan Dotson, less than 2 weeks ago. Is another unexpected move coming? Folks, just think for a moment about the strategy involved in a trade like this. It's not just about swapping one player for another or for a draft pick. It's about the future of the team. It's about building an identity and a winning strategy for the long term. What Ballantyne suggests is that by trading Allen, the Commanders could acquire important pieces that would better fit into the team's long-term plan. The decision isn't easy, but at the same time, it might be exactly what we need to level up in the NFL. And let's be honest, fans, having options in the draft is something you can never underestimate in the NFL. Look at what other franchises have managed to do with a good number of picks. Building through the draft is a proven way to form a competitive team without overspending in the free agent market. If we can get good picks for Allen, it could accelerate our rebuild and, who knows, put us in a position to compete for the playoffs soon. Do you agree with this view? But some say that losing a leader like Allen could have a negative effect on the locker room. He's more than just a player. He's a true commander on the field and a vocal presence in defense. His absence would leave a hole not just technically, but also emotionally in the team. And we know how important team chemistry and spirit are, especially in a long and grueling season like the NFL's. Are we ready to deal with this change? Or can new talents fill this void? Anyway, folks, this discussion is complex and full of nuances. But one thing is certain, the Commanders' management isn't afraid to make bold moves. Now let's dive headfirst into the projections for the 2024 season, and look, there's a lot of good stuff and some concerns we need to talk about. Stick with me until the end of this video because I'm going to reveal details that might change your perspective on our team's future. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Commanders news. Let's go! Well, if you followed last season, you know 2024 wasn't easy for us. We finished as the worst team in the NFL. That's right, my friends. Worse than the Panthers. We lost our last 8 games, and if the season had lasted just a little longer, we might be talking about our first draft pick now. But as an old saying goes, every cloud has a silver lining, right? Now, one thing nobody can deny is the impact of these changes. Just to give you an idea, we started the season with 30 rookies on our 53-player roster. That's more than half the team learning everything from scratch. But the good news is we have new blood and a lot of raw talent that Quinn can shape. And speaking of which, one of the biggest changes we made was in the quarterback room, bringing in Jaden Daniels as our number 2 draft pick. That's right, our new star is here to show what he's made of. And if you think it's just the offense that's got a new face, get ready, because the work on defense was heavy too. We updated our entire linebacker core, bringing in respected names like Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. Now I ask you, with this new formation, will we continue to be the worst defense in the league? I don't think so. And apparently the folks at ESPN are with us on this one. Mike Clay, ESPN's expert, released his latest projections for 2024, and guess what? Washington is among the 3 teams that will score the most points this season. For a team that was the punching bag of last season, this is great news. This is the Dan Quinn effect, my friends. He brought new energy to this defense, and I'm excited to see how we'll fare against strong teams. But it's not all roses. Unfortunately, Clay's projections also brought some not-so-good news. According to him, our offense will be the 3rd worst in the league in points scored, only ahead of the Giants and the Patriots. How come, right? Just now that we have Cliff Kingsbury as offensive coordinator and Daniels as our main QB. It's hard to believe, but we have to be realistic. There are still questions about the offensive line and about who will be the big target alongside Terry McLaurin, and that's where the danger lies. Will Daniels' arrival be enough to make the quality leap we've been waiting for? And our offensive line, will it be able to protect our new QB? And which receiver will really stand out alongside McLaurin? These are many questions that only time will answer, but one thing is certain. The 2024 season promises strong emotions. Now, the power ranking that Clay released put us in 30th position. Yeah, folks, it's not what we expected, but it's not the end of the world either. We're rebuilding, and that takes time. And look, for a team that has just gone through such a big renovation, being in 30th position might just be a start. We have the potential to surprise, especially with our season opener away against the Buccaneers. This game could be the first big opportunity to show what we're made of this season. So, what do you think, fans? Will all these changes make the difference we've been hoping for? Or will we need another season of patience and building? And, more importantly, what will be the role of each of us, the fans, in this process? Leave your comment down below with your opinion, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more exclusive analyses like this one.